Hello and welcome to the Ultimate Ironman Hypixel Skyblock Farming Guide. So we're gonna start off by walking to the right here, collecting some wheat, like you do at every farm. Get yourself over to farming, just get a few farming levels and do some other skills on the hub to get yourself to farming level 5 so you could get to the garden. Whilst you're doing this, you can also get yourself a rookie hoe, which you can use to get more seeds, and make sure to save them for later. Once you've reached level 5, you can find Sam over on your island. It will give you a short dialogue, but then make you able to warp to the garden. Then, once you enter your garden, you'll spawn right over here. Just follow Sam's quest. She'll tell you exactly what to do for that. And then you've cleaned your plot, all of that good stuff. Then I'm guessing you have a Rukio. You'll make a wheat plot first because you unlock different different crops to plant from garden levels. So you can only start with wheat. Then when you get to level 2 you can get carrot, potato, pumpkin, sugarcane, melon, cacti, cocoa, mushroom and netherwort at level 10. Another interesting thing about this is every upgrade you get plus 10% crop growth, which is going to be very, very important. So you've got your wheat farm down because you followed the quest of Sam. And then you farm it a few times with your rookie hoe. And you've probably done some visitors by now. You're gonna want to accept some visitors because they'll give you some copper. You can just go in them, they'll say something, and then it'll tell you what you need to uh, get it, to get the copper. Here you need 5 enchanted cookies, and I'll get 62 copper, which is very nice. But you'll want to get your hands on some copper for a advanced gardening hoe. So that's 25 copper, which is very cheap. And then you can get yourself a hoe with replenish. Because it is such an absolute pain to every time you've mined out your entire wheat field to have to go back over here and repaste it or place it back by hand if you're absolutely crazy. So make sure to do that. And whilst you're farming wheat anyway, you'll be gaining some, well, you'll be getting some wheat. And with that wheat, first off at wheat level 2 you unlock harvesting, which is an enchantment, which you will basically use the whole entire time. It's like one of the most important enchants. Then you get the farm suit, which gives you plus 5 farming fortune per piece, and it's really cheap to make. And it's only wheat free, so 250 wheat, you'll have that in no time. Then you've got an agronomy sack, which is very, very important because otherwise you only have so much space in your inventory, and let's be honest, if you mine like one field, that will fill up your entire inventory already. So you're gonna want to make some agronomy sacks as well. And also a very important thing is this thing, the personal compactor, because otherwise you're gonna have to craft them all into enchanted by hand, which is just not nice. You're also gonna be wanting to start to have a look at these farming contests by Jacob, because you're gonna want medals to get the better versions of your tools. So you can get like a carrot hoe, a melon dicer, fungi cutter, or a cactus knife. So you can, well, better farm your crops. And by just getting a few bronzes from doing the contests, bronze should be easy. It's top 60%. You can get that by just you can get that by even just getting wheat in the hub. That should even get you your bronzes. And then you can upgrade them by doing some metal trades. You're gonna need 2 bronzes for 1 silver, and then 4 silvers for 1 gold. And with that, you'll have a gold medal, and then you need 32 tickets, and then you can get yourself a farming tool, which is very nice. Very nice, very nice. Also, you're gonna notice some pests spawning whilst you're farming. And if you go into the Skymart, pests, you'll be able to get a Skymart vacuum here, or I think even when you first click on Philip, I think he'll give you one for free as well. It's gonna start by doing not that much damage. It's gonna start by doing 100 damage only, and as you work your way up, which is very expensive, might I say, you're gonna be doing more damage. And in the end, you can one-shot the pests. And at the start, it's gonna be 6 shots to kill the pests. You can upgrade your Skymart vacuum by getting clipped wings for buzzing, and you can get some books which gives plus 10 damage per piece, and the max vacuum you can buy does 250 damage, plus the 5 books gets you to 300 damage, and then the clipped wings doubles your damage, which is insane, which makes it 600 damage, and all the pests are 600 damage, so that's great. Also, what you can buy here is a sprayinator if you want more pests to spawn. You also have pest repellent, where if you don't want to deal with pests. These are pretty cheap, just 15 and 25 copper, or in total like 40 copper for 4 times less pests for an hour, which I would say is very, very nice. But now that you've gotten yourself your first nice tools and stuff, you're gonna want to be having a look at getting into the armor, because there's actually an armor set which you can keep upgrading, and which is the set you'll use to go, like the Fermento, or well, it is the Fermento. You've got the melon armor, which will cost you, all the pieces are crafted like this, and you need farming 25. Then from this you get croppy when you farm wheat, carrot and potato. You gain croppies, and with that you can make the croppy armor. Then with that you get the squash, and you can make the squash armor, and then you can make the fermento armor. Except for the boots. For the boots you're gonna want rancher's boots, which is actually in the pumpkin collection. If you go right here, pumpkin, it's the last one. And you need farmer's boots, and then 16 polished pumpkins around it to make rancher's boots, which are very good because you can choose the speed you want to go at. So you can set a speed cap and then go at a specific speed, which will make it easier to farm your farm. Next thing I'd like to talk about is building infinite farms or good farms. Because let's be honest, the starter farms aren't really great. So you're gonna want to make infinite farms. You can do this by either watching a tutorial or just trying yourself. Uh, these are the farms I use. Just like these that you farm like this for carrot, netherwort, potato, and wheat, of course, pumpkin, melon, cactus, cocoa, and mushrooms. Oh, and sugarcane, of course. Now you've probably collected some pests. You can go over to Philip over here, and you can see you can empty your pest bag. You at the maximum is 20 pests, and you can get 100 farming fortune, which is great for farming contests. But you can also buy other things here in the shop. You have the accessory, which is always great for magical power, of course, and will gain you some bonus pest chance. But it also has a crucial feature where you can disable your your bonus pest chance, which also works on all the other bonus pest chance you have. It will also turn that off, so you will have no double pest spawning, none of that stuff. You've also got this biohazard set, some uh, some of these uh, traps, which are very handy. They'll gain pests in there, and then you can just empty it out and get free loot. We've also got a beginner's guide to pest hunting, which if you have Pest Terminator 5, will turn it into Pest Terminator 6. You have a barn skin and a hedgehog, which is kind of a okay farming pet, seeing as it gives plus 100 farming fortune at level 100. Then here we have Pamela, she does nothing. We have Anita, which also has a bunch of other things you can buy. Like for making the farms, you can use a infinite dirt wand, which is very handy, prisma pump, and you've got these hoes that tilt a lot of farmland in one go. You've got these basket of seeds to easily place a ton of seeds, a netherwort pouch to easily place netherwort, delicate 5, which is very handy for when you're farming mm, uh, these pumpkins and melons, so you don't break the the seed thing. A mathematical hoe blueprint, which we talked about before, and the other tools to cut things. Then you can buy a level cap higher, so you can get to farming 51, 52, 53 until 60. Some extra farming fortune, and the Anita's talisman, which will give you plus 5 or till 25 farming fortune during a Jacob's farming contest. So as we can see here on the calendar, there's Jacob's farming contest, and now for one of the crops I have the boost. I have the boost for netherwort this time, which is different for everyone. Everyone has a different one. Well, some of course are gonna have the same, but everyone has a different crop that they get more of. There's also this one thing called personal bets, which you can buy, and it will give you, based on how good you did in your best farming contest of that crop, it will give you extra farming fortune for that crop. One thing I haven't talked about is pets. What pet will you want to use for your farming? Well, when you start off, you'll want to use a rare or higher rabbit pet because it will give you more farming wisdom, which will make you level up quicker. And when you get to farming like 40, you can choose to switch to an elephant, like I have, or a mushroom cow. But when you want to switch to the mushroom cow, make sure to have a high enough magical power. You're gonna want about 1,000 magical power to make the mushroom cow be worth it. Then we've of course got pet items, which you can get a farming boost. You can get uh, a yellow bandana, which you can buy from the desk right here. Let's go through everything you can buy here as well. The biofuel for your uh, compost machine. You can buy a scythe, which will make it easier to clean your plots. A builder's ruler, which is going to be very handy to build your farms. You can buy sonder for 10 copper, dedication for 250 copper, and green thumb for 1500 copper, which each has their own thing. Sonder is basically the harvesting for axes. Dedication, well, that's just gonna be great farming fortune for your crop milestone. And green thumb is for your equipment, which gives plus 0.05 farming fortune per unique visitor served. Then you've got the equipment, which you are of course gonna want to get as quickly as possible and accept as many visitors as possible, because this one upgrades by the amount of visitors you've accepted. Seeing I have accepted 113, I get plus 7 farming fortune per piece. We've got the Skymart brochure, large walnut, the yellow banana, which I just talked about. The large walnut is for your tools or your axe even. The Skymart brochure is for your armor to get you bustling, which is what you're gonna use most of the time until you get to mossy. And then the uh, advanced gardening axe and the advanced gardening hoe and the basic versions of it. I don't see why you would use the basic version, but using an advanced version is gonna be very good because replenish, which is something you'd really want. For the equipment, by the way, you're gonna want to get blooming first and then rooted, which you can get by farming mushrooms. But back to the pet. If you're using a elephant pet, you can use a green bandana. And if you're using a mushroom cow, you can get a Minos relic because it will get you more strength. Now let's talk a bit more about reforges and enchants. So for your hoe or axe, you're gonna want to get Blessed Reforge. You're gonna want to try and get Farming for Dummies, 5 Farming for Dummies. You're gonna want to get Cultivating, which upgrades based on the amount of crops that you've mined, maxing out at 1 billion, I think, or 100 million. Not exactly sure. Then you've got uh, Delicate for your axe, efficiency, Sunder, turbo of your specific crop, of course, and then a dedication, which I don't have on air. And of course, you're gonna want to recombobulate it, all of that good stuff, which of course gives you some extra fortune. For your armor, we already glanced over that. You're gonna want to get bustling, and then once you get mossy from your visitors, then you want to upgrade it to mossy. Then for that, your enchants, you're gonna want to get Pest Terminator 5 on all of your armor, or well, Pest Terminator 6, of course, with the upgrade from Philip. And for the boots, you're gonna want to get Depth Strider for your farms, because otherwise these kind of farms don't work, because you just walk through it way too slowly. And for your equipment, you're gonna want to, of course, get green thumb 5, which is very expensive, but I've heard it's also very, very worth it. Well, that was my video about the garden. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did enjoy it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. It really helps. And if I missed anything or said anything wrong, please put it down in the comments and I will see what I can do next time. Thank you very much for watching and bye bye.